is teed up, and with the boots, the NFL postseason has officially begun. His return starts at the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Stroud in the air to start us off. It's caught. That's Calvin Austin. And they're going to get to him after a gain of close to 5 as they send him out.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot. Give your quarterback a chance.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5.
All right. 18. What's up?
Here's Stroud. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
That's a throw at this level. There's so much speed and length, you got to be real careful. Rarely do you find a clean window down the middle. Got to be absolutely perfect, and it wasn't there.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
All right.
Shotgun now for Stroud. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, and that leaves them with 4th and 5. So they couldn't throw for it on 3rd down, and as a result, they're headed off the field earlier than expected on their opening series.
Keeping them off the scoreboard, well, that's already a win defensively. Not letting them even cross midfield, that's the cherry on top.
Perhaps a little misplaced sense of urgency on their opening drive. We'll find out together, and they're going for this from their own side. He's got his man. This is Kraft. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. They stun this defense. They pick up 14 on 4th, and they pick up a 1st down, too.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44.
Here we go.
Now Jalen Wright gets it for the first time. And he's going to be brought down in enemy territory now at the 46. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Danger, kid. Danger, I say. You get this guy in the open field, and he is dangerous to take it to the house.
1st and 10 now from the 46.
Here we go.
They run again with Wright. And he's going to gain about 3 yards as they bring him down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
2nd down now, 7 to go.
All right.
Stroud from the pistol. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. All right, partner, testing the perimeter early there. Coverage held up. Could be a tough day for those outside receivers to make an impact.
Okay, partner, testing you here. You've heard me say this a lot. Okay, coordinator's job is to get you man-to-man coverage, and your job is?
To win it. Connects downfield. On target to Dell. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for 1st and goal.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
They have it 1st and goal, an early lead available here in the postseason.
Close. On the quick, right?
They run it from the gun with Wright. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
So from the 3, here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Here's another for it. He's not going to make it. Made a little progress, but they stall him at the 2. It'll be a gain of only 1 on 2nd, so that brings up 3rd goal from the 2.
That's twice now where runs have not gotten them into the end zone, but you've kind of set yourself up. Actually, you've set yourself up really well for a little play action right here.
On 18. Let's hit.
Now Stroud on 3rd and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans finish up an excellent opening series. Ramondre Stevenson, the touchdown. Here's Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Texans will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Dolphins, nothing. Kaimi Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Dolphins just about set up here. 1st and 10.
19 Tiger.
Running for the first time with Joe Mixon. He powers ahead for about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. That's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
First down run, nabs him 5. Now 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Milton. Vacates quickly left side. Finds his fullback. Makes the tackle. And they're able to drive him out as he reaches the 45. That play good for 17 and a first down. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response, right? You need a response. You don't need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
And he's going to manage a low yard on that drive up the gut. Brought down on the play by Tavondre Sweat. Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Shotgun snap here to Milton. Pulling the out route complete. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. Gain of 9 yards on the play. And it's going to be first down Miami. Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. Here's Milton, 1st and 10. Hits him on the out route. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. The gain gets this down inside the 35. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. Out of the gun, it's Milton. This is complete to Waller. He will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with 1st and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone.
I have loved this opening script. Aggressive, taking your shots. You know, the numbers tell you you get an explosive play on a drive in the NFL today, you're typically going to score.
And he gets in. Touchdown! The Dolphins finish up their opening drive. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. Quite the drive they put together to begin this game. What stood out to us, how quickly they were operating. They got a lot of plays in a small amount of time on the way to that touchdown.
What do you mean? We feel that tempo in the booth?
Yep. Certainly do.
Kept those guys guessing defensively and on their toes, not quite sure what was coming next. And it will be that same strategy they employ, I'm going to guess so, until that defense proves they can stop it.
He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. We stop him right as he gets up past the 15.
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
All right, the Houston offense looks set, Brock. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play action. Here's Stroud. He finds Austin complete. And he stopped almost immediately after that catch. He's down at the 30. big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll be first down, Houston. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
That one complete to Stevenson. And this one does not go far.
Stevenson. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 31-yard line.
We've reached the end of one in this opening round of the AFC playoffs. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. Welcome back. We'll begin the second quarter with the Texans in possession. They have 2nd and 9 for their first play. From the gun, Stroud. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and you couldn't do it.
It's his running back. He'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the first.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
1st and 10 from the 43. Ramani Kanda now up the middle. And he gets a few on the punch forward.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7.
On the quick, right?
Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Finds him over the middle. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. They gain 11 on that play. And it'll be a first down, Texans.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
First and 10 from the 43. Here's a give for Wright. And he gets him around 6 there. Zach Sealer there to bring him down. Looking quickly here.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Right again. This is going to make it down to the 24-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
That's just not the guy defensively you'd ever want the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
They keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Stroud. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it sets up 2nd down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
From the 24 once again, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Stroud. Oh, not like this. An interception ends that drive. And the Dolphins quarter starts. 1st and 10.
Come on. Set, Warriors, set, pass all 80.
To throw, Milton. Taking the deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete. Well, he's been perfect to that point on the drive, Buck. First time we've seen this coverage force him into a misstep in a while.
I know you hear me talk all the time, Kate, about the rhythm of an offense, right?
Yeah.
And I look at it through those optics so much. But it's the same thing defensively. You've got to get a stop. See the ball hit the ground to knock them out of that rhythm.
70 Timberwolves.
Milton gonna throw again here, 2nd and 10. Escapes the pocket. Shovel pass complete. And he's short of the first after a mile gain.
You could do a lot worse than a quick little shuffle give sometimes. I like that play. That shuffle pass just keeps the defense honest, keeps them guessing a little bit. Normally goes for positive yardage, and sometimes you're even able to surprise that defense entirely.
Someone stepped in. It's intercepted. They're going to be set up with 1st and goal after that INT.
Oh, coaches just love that effort right there. Instantly, as he made the pick, everybody was looking for a block and doing their part to set up the return. And I know it pales in comparison to giving up the turnover, but how about the effort on the other side, tracking down and stop the potential pick six? I think everybody deserves a little credit on the field for that effort.
It's a gain of 2 on the play. Still some work to do on 2nd and goal.
What? 19 Texans. 19.
Back to throw. Stroud. Caught just shy of the goal line. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
6-yard gain.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
One of the biggest snaps of this opening round of the postseason. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Oh, 12. 18.
Stroud off the play fake. And this is going to be a Houston touchdown. The Texans pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Ramondre Stevenson, the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Going after up and good by Fairbairn. And the Texans break that tie and now lead by 7.
14. Dolphins 7.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. And that one's going to skip across the goal line and into the end zone. So the football will come back out to the 20.
20-yard line.
Starting out with an empty backfield, Brock. Here they come. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. Tap the 60. Tap the 60.
Back to work after throwing the pick. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Ready? 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. Rig.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Has him on a quick hitter. And he is persuaded to go out of bounds just as he gets this up past the 30-yard line. 12 yards on that play and a good call nets him the 1st.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
So 2 minutes still to play in this first half, partner. More from NRG Stadium in just a moment.
Ready?
1st and 10 from the 32.
Mustang 19. Ready? Cougar 19. Ready?
Here's Milton. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Alontae Taylor has it. And the Texans return the interception close to the red zone. He's stopped inside the 25.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Texans to the line. 1st and 10. run with Wright. And he'll be stopped after just about a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up. Following the run, we see he's still out there dealing with some sort of injury. They'll head out to check on him. Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Let's go.
Shotgun now, first round. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. It's their first. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down.
Well, the first sack of the game, Kate, as you just called, is a big one. And they're going to make this guy pay if he's trying to play too much hero ball. Got to find a way to get the ball out of your hand.
Offense looking to convert as they come up to the line. 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Trying to set up that screen, but it falls incomplete. And now they're facing 4th down.
Kid, I'm just kind of laughing because I could feel the armchair quarterbacks going, I can make that throw. And anybody who's actually made those throws says you have no idea what it feels like with everybody breathing down your neck. That play's got to be right, timed up right. It certainly wasn't. You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lot. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Fields this one at the 3. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
Ready, set.
First call here coming from the shotgun.
65 there. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Go.
Shaking off the pit quickly. He's going to throw. He gets it complete to his man, Tyreek Hill. There he goes on the right side. There it is. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins make it a one-score game before halftime. Tyreek Hill the touchdown. Sly gets the extra point to go. And the Dolphins cut it to a field goal game.
Dolphins 14. Set to kick off.
Ball is set up and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. And that one hit the landing zone first and then into the end zone. So it's going to be a touchback out to the 20. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Here's Stroud now. This has been a trend. Yet another interception. Jordan Brooks comes up with it.
Well, that's now his 2nd time that he's put his defense in a tough spot. That's a hard thing about playing quarterback, Kate. You know, with these interceptions and now the 2nd on the day, you're asking your defense again to step up to another series, another possession, another challenge. This quarterback's got to start protecting the football.
They're going to throw out of the gun. This finds him in the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins get some late points and the lead. Tyreek Hill the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Extra point is up and good from Sly. And the Dolphins take a 4-point lead.
Texans 17. Joey Sly set to kick off.
All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Return starts at the 3. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
All right, the Houston offense looks set, Brock. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's the first carry for Isaiah Pacheco. And he's going to be brought down up at the 31. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. Miami calls a timeout here. It's second. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. New set of downs for him from the 31.
Here we go.
Stroud from the pistol. It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. The Dolphins choosing to spend their final time out here. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
That was a situation where I think the previous drive, really affected the decision-making there. Coming off a pick, he wasn't about to challenge the coverage. Instead, he just took his medicine.
Oh, brother, it's another interception. Jordan Brooks comes up with it. And this is going to be a pick six. He is in for the Miami touchdown. He missed the linebacker lurking, or he thought he could challenge him there and win. A 6-point mistake, Brock, either way.
You know, Kate, that you use that word as a verb. And quarterbacks, when we look at coverages, we use it as a noun. He's a lurker. You said he was lurking, and he was. And if you're not aware of that lurker, that free defender who's got eyes on you, they can make you pay just as he did.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Returnable from the 2. And they get to him before it can amount to much, just beyond that 15-yard line.
And they're on the 17-yard line.
Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10. Fresh off the pick, here's Stroud. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
Houston calls it second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. New set of downs for him from the 31.
Here we go.
First down throw by Stroud. Throws off the rip, but it's incomplete. Well, even with the pick on that last drive, partner, he is showing no hesitation whatsoever.
Well, in order to play this game, Kate, at this level, you've got to be aggressive. You can't let a previous mistake really affect your next decision. I'll say this as well. In the NFL, you throw into coverage too many times, there could be more interceptions.
After the incompletion, still at that 31-yard line, 2nd and 10.
On the quick, right?
Again, Stroud. That's complete. Isaiah Pacheco. He's right up next to that first down. Doesn't quite get there. Gain of 9. That brings up 3rd and short.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
And this one falls incomplete. Still 17 seconds left to play.
That one really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
On their own side, but only need an inch or two here, so they're going for it. They're going to go for this. It's Stroud. Oh, no, they get him yet again. Justin Reed has the INT. And this is going to be a pick six. He is in for the Miami touchdown. Well, they had to try something there on 4th down, but that throw played right into what the defense was anticipating, Brock, and they make it hurt that much worse by taking the turnover back for 6.
Hey, I'm all for these great group celebrations, and, I'm not Captain No Fun, but one of these times I'd like to see that player run that football over to the D coordinator who predicted that play was coming and really made the right call to create that opportunity.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. He's going to field this at the 2. Ooh, a poor effort there. He only gets it to the 15 before he's taken down.
And they're on the 15-yard line.
Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down.
Oh, right.
He's back to throw. He's got it deep downfield. At the 20. And somehow they've reached the end zone with no time remaining in the half. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Okay, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
That one right down the middle. And the Texans make it an 11-point ball game.
Texans 24.
With this kick, we're back underway. A spot in the divisional round on the line. Returning it from the 4. And this drive will start inside the 25.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 23.
All right, Miami has its offense set, partner. Here comes first and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Now begin with a run by Mixon. This drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. Gave away a couple on the first down run. Now it's going to be second and 12.
Let's go
At
now.
the 22-yard line.
Stop the line. Let's go.
Back to throw. Here's Milton. Trying to set up a screen for Mixon. That screen sniffed out quickly, shut down behind the line.
Okay, that's one of those situations as a quarterback that on my grade sheet, that's a negative. That screen was ambushed by the defense, and you've got to throw it away. Just find a way to put it at his feet and not create a negative play for your offense.
Ready? Step cowboy 80.
Here he goes, third and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And a couple of really good plays, Brock, made back-to-back behind the line to bring up fourth down. So the Dolphins readying for the punt. And this somehow is only going to be our first punt of the game. Not much room, but he's still able to crush it. It's a nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35.
You know, I'm sure Coach would prefer he not flirt with disaster on the return. No additional damage is done, however. They're fortunate to get the ball back, and everyone can breathe a little sigh of relief.
First down, Stroud. He finds Pacheco out of the backfield. And he's tackled for a short gain. And for somebody who's been picked off like he has, Brock, you gotta admire his determination to keep attacking these coverages.
Yeah, that is risk. Right in the double coverage yet again. But this guy's got what I call a high belief factor in himself.
Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Couldn't connect right side, it's incomplete. He was hoping to get it to Tank Dell there. So now it's going to be third and long.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play. Now it's third down. Third and long. They're going to throw. Knocked away and hits the ground, incomplete. That brings up fourth down.
You know, Kate, with the game that they've put together, it's surprising to see them really run into any hiccups when they appear. They move the ball very well throughout, just unsuccessful on that third down.
A full quarter to go, but they feel like they got to make their move now. They are going for this. Stroud going to go for it. He's got his man. This is Kraft. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. The gain gets this down inside the 35. That's a 26-yard gain on fourth down, partner. Talk about a huge play there to extend this drive.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains. There wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
So they'll head up here first and 10 from the 34.
Here we go.
They'll give this up the middle to Pacheco. A lot of traffic up the middle there, and he's bounced outside, and that's in 7. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on first down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
Some offenses, well, they prefer to go run in that RPO situation. It's a safer call, a little more conservative. But in this case, it gets them just as many yards as a short completion would have.
2nd and 3 now.
118. What's up? 19 Texans.
From the gun, Stroud. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And it'll be 3rd down coming up after this defense's 3rd sack of the game.
Even from the booth, Kate, I can hear it. I can hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did, wasted no time in getting that sack.
And they pick him up again! And the Dolphins take it away once again. The 5th time they've intercepted in this game. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Motioning the tight end left.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
1st and 10, around to Mixon. And he stopped quickly here. 2 yards on the play, and we've got 2nd and 8.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. On a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Out of the gun, it's Milton. Buying some time right. And a stunning loss there, Brock. He ends up in his own end zone. That is a wild safety.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
After surrendering the safety, they're out to boot it away. He fields this at the 18. And he is stopped with authority there. But that stop came later than they'd like as he gets a good bit and that 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know you can set the table for more.
First down from the 42.
Here we go. Let's go.
To the air, Stroud. Short pass brought in. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and manageable. He's throwing. Finds him over the middle. He's going to be held up after gaining 2, so a little shy of that marker. 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Third down, 1 yard to go.
2 J. 18. What's that?
They'll run it. Here's Pacheco. They sent him right up the gut, but he wasn't able to get anywhere. The defense braced for impact, and they made the stop. It's 4th down.
It's 4th down and less than a yard.
Stroud now on 4th down. And they pick him up again. Jordan Brooks comes up with it. And the Dolphins get it as he makes his 3rd interception of this game.
It's a turnover on downs.
Ready, set.
All set to go now from the 35.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Running with Mixon out of the gun. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. With each carry he gets, Brock, I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the last touch that he gets in this game? Because it hasn't been a great performance for him.
You know, individually, collectively, and you can look up front, right? They've just not been winning the battle enough push, enough drive to get this running game going.
Went the wrong way on first down, Brock. Here comes 2nd and 12.
Cougar 19.
1 quarter to go, Brock, and we'll see who can earn the wild card win. The Dolphins have it and just have to close this out to continue on in the playoffs. All right, here we go. 2nd down.
Deputy. Viking H.
Shotgun snap here to Milton. He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed. And the Texans have some new life in the 4th.
Kate, I think you can almost sense a little bit of a hesitant spark out there. Nobody is going to get too excited. You're still down 2 scores, but there's a little flash of hope, a little flash of optimism. Their defense just gave the offense by taking the ball away.
The Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Off the play action. Here's Stroud. Looking to his fullback now. And he goes out. Just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
That is a textbook first down completion. It sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
All right.
Shotgun now for Stroud. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
All right.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. This is Jefferson, and he's got it. He goes the distance. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans have cut it to a 3-point game here in the 4th. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. There, connects on the extra point. And the Texans cut the lead down to just 2.
35. Texans 33. Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
On the return, the Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Dolphins just about set up here. 1st and 10. Wanting to start the drive with Mixon. He's going to be brought down right at the 35. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the 1st.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
Here's Milton, 1st and 10. Setting up the screen. And they're all over that screen, Brock. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
I know coordinator and quarterback will be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, the defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Throwing now, Milton. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
rest of them could be hurried into a throw before they're ready, and that pressure just messed up all the timing, the rhythm, and the clock of the quarterback.
So after that prior incompletion, it's third down.
Let's go, 18, 5 here. 70 Lions.
Third and long for him here. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert. All just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10.
Come on. 70 Lions. 70 Timberwolves. Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
Out of the shotgun, a gift to Mixon. And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
Now Milton to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
7th play of the drive, offense facing 3rd and 3.
Back up, 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
He's back to throw. Waddle makes the catch. And he's going to get this down inside the 30 before he's driven out. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
When you throw that comeback route versus zone, you have to see the underneath defenders. It's frankly easier, Kate, to throw it versus man-to-man. You know where everybody is. But in zone, you better trust your eyes underneath. And when you do, there's completions like that to be had.
That's to Waddle again. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. And it's a gain of 12 on that one. And that is the Dolphins' 1st down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Staying between the tackles with Mixon. And he got what he could there, only to the 14. So rather than let the 2-minute warning hit, the defense burns the first of its timeouts.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7.
Go! Cougar 19, 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Keeping it with Mixon. This fight good enough to gain about 4. It's 3rd down. A gain of 5, and that brings us to the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 3rd and
3rd and just 2 to go.
Get it! Ready,
We go with a design keeper. And he is well clear of that marker. That effort's going to set them up with a 1st and goal.
Yet another example why the ball finds its way in this guy's hands time after time. He's a playmaker, and he knows how to get the yards they need. Maybe not a ton there, but enough to move the sticks.
Okay, break.
Touchdown would put this one to bed. A few shots at it here, starting with 1st and goal.
Ready, ready.
They're going to run here. It's Mixon. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4. Houston calls it 2nd timeout. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1.
Reload. Pat.
Mixon again. And he punches this one in. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins go up by 8 at the end. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. Point after upcoming, this for a 2-score lead to potentially clinch the win. And a likely game-winning extra point strikes true, and that should do it. Get a 2-score game now late.
Texans 33. Jody Sly set to kick off.
All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Returnable from the 2. And they get to him before he can amount to much, just beyond that 15-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Texans to the line. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Stroud. This one taken in by Kraft. And they're going to catch him right as he gets this to the 30. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it'll be 1st down, Houston.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
Stroud throwing here on 1st. And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. And the Dolphins have it again after yet another interception.
At the 50-yard line.
The Dolphins in pretty good field position here as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready, ready.
Oh, Brock, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
Okay, I got to believe he harkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
It's mixed in on 2nd down. And he'll get this through midfield and start pushing into Texans territory. Open 3 that time. That's going to bring up 37.
3-yard gain on the play. Brings up
Hey, hey, check that, check that. Here we go, set, let's go.
On the ground again with Mixon. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Final timeout called by the Texans. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. On now comes their punter. And he wants to hit his 2nd effort just as well as he hit his 1st. And this doesn't just reach the end zone. He kicked that one all the way through. It's for a touchback.
at their own 20-yard line.
All right, the Houston offense looks set, Brock. Here's 1st and 10.
Set, ready, hunt.
Back to work after throwing the pick. Finds his fullback. And they're going to force him out just before he can get to the 35.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum. Keep that defense on its heels.
First down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
This will be the final play of the game.
Set, hunt.
Here he goes, one final shot. Ooh, and quick there. They bring him to the turf. And their 4th sack of the game right there brings up 2nd down. So it's a win for the visiting Dolphins. And you never want to count out those wildcard teams once the postseason begins, right? We've seen a few go on magical runs before, and they've officially begun theirs here, fighting their way to next week's divisional round games. With Brock Ewart and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins, your winners, as we'll see you next time from Houston.